Manchester United weren't supposed to look like this. Not this confident, not this coordinated, and definitely not this dangerous. Just a few months ago, the entire football world was laughing a 15th place finish, players who looked completely lost, and a fan base convinced that nothing would ever change. And yet suddenly out of nowhere, United are pressing with purpose, scoring with edge, defending with fire, and walking onto the pitch like a team that finally knows who it is again. So what happened? How did a manager who was mocked for stubborn tactics suddenly turn United into one of the most uncomfortable teams to face in the league? And more importantly, is this just a short burst of good form or the beginning of something much bigger? Today we're going deep inside Rúben Amorim's system, his methods, his risks, and the hidden tactical decisions that transformed Manchester United from predictable to dangerously unpredictable. Let's start with where everything began. When Amorim arrived at Manchester United, people thought he'd cave, because the Premier League swallows managers whole, especially managers who bring one system and refuse to bend. But Amorim walked in with his signature 3-4-3, the same structure he lived and breathed at Sporting, and he didn't move an inch. He insisted on the back three. He insisted on two attacking midfielders floating behind a striker. He insisted on aggressive wing-backs who behave like wingers one moment and defenders the next. Critics called it naive. Fans called it risky. Pundits called it too Portuguese for England. But Amorim didn't flinch. To him, the system wasn't the problem, the players were. The intensity wasn't right. The structure wasn't understood. The squad wasn't built for it. And he kept repeating one thing behind closed doors. The system works when the players do. At first it looked like stubbornness. Now it looks like prophecy. But the system staying the same doesn't explain this revival. So what changed? Amorim didn't need superstars. He needed soldiers. Players who understood space. Players who listened. Players who followed instructions to the last detail. This season, he finally got them. The arrivals up front changed everything. Suddenly United had forwards who pressed with bite, who understood movement, who didn't drift out of the game for entire halves. Suddenly the attacking midfielders weren't slowing transitions. With heavy touches, they were snapping the ball forward, protecting possession, striking with purpose. And then came the wing-backs, faster, more disciplined, more willing to run themselves into the ground for the system. Under Amorim, the wing-backs aren't extra defenders. They're the most important creators in the entire team. They stretch the pitch, pin back defenders, and create a 5-man forward line every time United attack. Even the double pivot changed, not by personnel but by clarity. Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes finally understood their roles. One breaks lines from deep, one sprays diagonals to the wings, both protect the center when the wing-backs fly forward. It's not perfect, but it's finally coherent. And with clearer roles came something United have lacked for years: coordination. Suddenly, when one player moved, 3 others adjusted. When a wing-back pushed, a center-back slid wide. When a midfielder pressed, the forward cut off the passing lane. This didn't happen last season because last season was chaos. This season, it's structure with teeth, but structure alone isn't enough. United also needed to fix the biggest problem they had last year. If there's one thing Amorim hates, it's slow football. Last season, United's build-up was painful. Back and forth between defenders, passes chopped sideways opponents, pressing with no fear. So Amorim flipped the script. United became more direct, not kick and hope, but targeted aggression. Long passes weren't used to escape pressure. They were used to start attacks. The center-backs began hitting diagonal switches. The goalkeeper started launching passes toward the right side. Every forward was told to fight for the first ball and the midfielders to hunt the second. And suddenly the rhythm of United's game changed completely. There was no more waiting, no more hesitation, no more giving opponents time to breathe. They attacked open spaces ruthlessly. They transitioned at full speed. They forced opponents into uncomfortable duels. And even though this style carries risk, losing long balls, second ball chaos, exposed defenders, Amorim believed the reward outweighed the danger. And this season, he's been proven right. But attacking faster is only half the story. The real shift happened when Amorim fixed the biggest weakness United had last season. Last season, United's defending felt like a horror film. One bad touch, one misplaced pass, one moment of confusion, and the entire team fell apart. This season, their structure. Not perfect structure, but real, visible, disciplined structure. The back three now move like a unit. They step up at the same moment, they cover for each other. They close down angles instead of randomly chasing attackers. Pressing 2 has become organized. United don't press just to press. They press on triggers, a back pass, a heavy touch, a sideways ball under pressure. a goalkeeper taking too long. This kind of synchronization didn't exist last season because the players didn't understand each other. Now, you can see it in every defensive shape. The wingbacks drop into a line of 5. The attacking midfielders protect the pivot. The forwards turn into the first line of defense. The result is simple. United concede fewer dangerous turnovers, fewer big open field transitions, fewer panic moments in their own half. But the revival isn't just about preventing goals, it's about how United create them. United's attack used to be predictable. Pass to the winger, hope he beats his man. Cross and pray. Now, it's layered, unpredictable, dynamic. The attacking midfielders combine quicker. The striker drops or spins depending on space. The wingbacks bomb forward at the exact right moment. The midfielders hit diagonals that break entire defensive blocks. The movement between the front three is especially dangerous. One drops short, one runs in behind. One pulls wide, and the other two instantly rotate. This isn't freestyle, this is choreography. Choreography built through repetition, training, live matches, and clarity of instruction. And for the first time in years, United actually looked dangerous in transition. Not reckless, not panicked, dangerous. The finishing isn't always clinical, but the patterns are finally there. However, even with the progress, Amorim knows there are issues he still hasn't solved. And these issues are the difference between scary right now and scary for seasons. If you look closely, the problems are still there, just less obvious now. The system demands insane physical effort. Wingbacks run more than anyone else in the league. The double pivot covers massive ground. The forwards press endlessly. A drop in intensity instantly exposes the whole setup. The midfield can still be bypassed. When opponents play quick one-touch combinations through the middle, United's pivot can get isolated, and the centre-backs get pulled into uncomfortable spaces. Wide overloads are still a threat. The back three shifts quickly, but teams that switch the ball rapidly can still catch United short on the far side. Set pieces remain unpredictable. Even with improvements, United still go through spells where defending crosses looks chaotic. Consistency isn't proven yet. You can look scary for 5 matches, you can look dangerous for a month, but the Premier League exposes every weakness eventually. These flaws don't erase the progress, but they remind us that United aren't back yet. They're climbing, they're improving, they're maturing, but they still have steps to take. Here's the truth, yes, but not because they are perfect, not because they dominate every match, not because the squad is flawless. United are scary again because they have an identity, a system, a direction, and a manager who believes so deeply in his ideas that the players are finally starting to believe too. The pressing is sharper, the transitions are faster, the defense is more synchronized, the attack is more unpredictable, and the mentality, the hunger, the intensity, the refusal to quit is back. Are they fully restored? Not yet. There's a long road still ahead, but for the first time in what feels like forever, United fans can look at this team and see a future. And if Rúben Amorim continues shaping this team the way he has so far, those good days he promised, they might finally be closer than anyone expected. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more breakdowns just like this. Because the story of Manchester United under Amorim is only just beginning.